Okay, welcome back into the locks. That's all we got, locks. Nothing but locks. All right, if I had locks, I'd grow them. I can't grow anything. I can grow stuff elsewhere. I could probably grow locks out of my nose or my ear. I just can't get it out of my head. It's amazing. I mean, it is truly amazing where hair chooses to grow as you just get older. In some cases, like I had one of these Benjamin Button buddies where that I had a friend who was similar to a Benjamin Button scenario, but it was with hair, where he was gaining hair, including his head, mind you, like thick head, but he was just gaining hair at a younger age. So I don't know, 28 or something like that. It's insane here. It's insane. You shouldn't have to spend time with that. I don't know how that came from the locks, but we've got locks, except for here. I don't have anything there. Look. Odd Shopper. We got a bunch of stuff here for you, including we're going to give you 2 free months of our Discord. I mean, this is insane. Insane what's going on. All right, let's build, shall we? Let us start. We've got an early game alert. And I think a big part of me wants to jump on the under just on the strength of this being our earlier start. It's not a typical one. This is not like, the old peacock mentality or anything along those lines. Shout out if you're still here from those videos. But what I do think is worth a play, just Michael Wacha on the mound, and you're going to have to take this for a little bit, I guess, for what it's worth. But there's a shot right now that 11.5 doesn't really come close. And I know that sounds absurd, but I think you're going to see more often than not, at the very least in this game, Brandon Williamson, Michael Wacha, these guys are going to get through 3, maybe 4 low scoring. Happy July, by the way, to everybody. We'll get to like July 4th and all that stuff on the 2nd. But let's open up here. I mean, look, we understand things can get dicey with a guy like Brandon Williamson, and the numbers are atrocious. Michael Wacha, though, I think can hold it down. The 21.4 K to 7.1 walk rate. Nothing spectacular, but nothing like a hindrance either. We come out here, go under 11.5, but I think it actually makes sense, right? Like I wanted to talk you through it, not just say, oh, well, it's an early start, because it's not really an early start. It's not 11 o'clock in the morning or anything like that. But the expectation, of course, Reds, where they were, Padres trying to just ignite. All right, we move on. Cardinals and Yankees. Now, we're going to the Odd Shopper Premium tool because I think you can find something here specifically with the YRFI. And that's where we want to go. YRFI. The biggest thing for me in this play is that the Odd Shopper Premium tool has found it. So, look, if I'm just going to go here, show you here off bets, you're going to see it. Like I'll come down, I'll bring it down. First inning total, we're going to get to that. Tampa, Seattle, don't you worry. You'll see, although that's tonight, that's fine. As we're taping. But these are going to pop. First inning runs are going to pop. And we have a couple. So you see how the tool works. I'm showing you the tool as it works. You're going to get EV. You're going to get plus EV. But we found them here, and that's the play for the Yankees Cardinals is going to be absolutely YRFI. Garrett Cole on the hill versus Jack Flaherty. What are we talking about? Are we actually fading Garrett Cole? Yeah. I think it's more about we're fading Jack Flaherty. Yankees, even on the road as we saw in Oakland, able to put some stuff together. The batting average, the xWOBA, if you're into that, nothing dominant as far as like the full body of work here for Garrett Cole. All right, guys hitting 243, that's fine. On the other side of this, though, Jack Flaherty, the 22.4 K rate's okay. 12.3 walk rate. He's going to make a mistake. Let's just call this for what it is, right? Like, this is just going to be a problem. That's really what it comes down to. All right. So I think the other part of it here, and I want to just show you where I was looking. Trust me, if I find that we can play Yankees, minus 105 on Sugar House, Minus 106 true odds, minus 105. I knew I can find it. Got to give me just a little faith here. All right? That's the play. That's the lock. We're going to use the tool here to our advantage. We move on. Boston, Toronto, Kikuchi, and Crawford. Say that. Cutter Crawford, you say Kikuchi. Okay? If you did that as fast and effortless, congrats. It rolls, and it should. Off the tongue there. So we're going to look at how well these two individuals can hold off the opposing opposition or the opposing offenses. Take that as far as the first thing I said. And you probably want to start with Kikuchi at the very least. That's where you're going to get into some trouble. Although it's not a lot. Look, K rate's fine, 24.5 to 7.2 walk rate. 245 X batting average, like Cole, we're talking about in these white numbers where it's just even, it's average, it's neutral is probably the best way to explain it. The Cutter Crawford, while the K rate is there, average at 23.7, I mean, my goodness, no walks, below 5%, strong right there. He's limiting opposition when opposing hitting down to a 224 X batting average. This is not easy for Toronto to just turn around on a guy knowing that they have a high-powered offense waiting. And you've got a couple of guys in there. But there's some strikeouts to be had. Matt Chapman, Brandon Belt, even Danny Jensen, throughout the year, you've seen guys K. So we'll keep an eye. But the play, the lock, under 9.5. All right? I mean, that's what we're doing. Minnesota's in Baltimore. Let's keep it moving here. Minnesota, what can they do with Bailey Ober to beat up on Baltimore following a rather disappointing night that we saw with the delay and everything with really Friday night in Baltimore? In Baltimore, of course. And we saw them just get pounded, right? We saw the rain, we saw the delay, we saw everything there, and then it was just an absolute slaughter for the first 3 innings. 5-0 up, just blink of the eye. Come back this time around, Bailey Ober, we don't think he has it. Baltimore Orioles money line. And if you want to look at Ober and the numbers he's going to have to put up in order to slow down this offense, which is just tough consistently to keep down. Not to say that it can't happen. It's just tough consistently to keep down like that. So give me the Orioles minus 130. Little concern about the K rate not being strong enough here. The fact that he is giving up not fantastic or stupendous when it comes to pitching to some contact there. There's going to be some jams. He's on the road. Baltimore's in a good bounce back spot. Doesn't always happen in this sport, but in this case, I think it does. So we take a minus 130. We move to Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. Now, take your pick here, not necessarily from the side. I don't want you to do that. But if you're thinking because Corbin Burnes is on the mound and you're getting plus 105, which seems like a steal, let me present it a different way for you. I think looking at the Pirates keeping this thing close is the angle here at minus 125, or simply just Stone Garrett out, and see he cracked one Friday night against the Phils. Holy shit. That thing just was a moonshot. Well, it didn't. I don't even know if it hit the moon, but it just was crushed. But Johan Oviedo is the counter here that you, if you were rolling with Pittsburgh, are ultimately tailing. I mean, this is the bet. Is Johan Oviedo good enough to last 4 or 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, 3 runs at most? And if you get that, it's going to be tough. He's limited opposing slugging, but the K to walk itself is just. But Corbin Burnes isn't dominating people either with this rate, at least consistently. And that's usually what you're getting with guys, in neutral form, and that's where he is. So I don't think that there's any reason to stray away from laying the minus 125 and just taking the Pittsburgh Pirates in a close game where we just laid out Oviedo is the guy. I mean, Burns, is probably going to have a pretty favorable matchup. This is probably going to be lower scoring, which is okay. Oviedo handles his part of the bargain. We're in great shape. Absolutely great shape. All right, we move to Houston. This one's fun in a couple of ways. Now, look, I told you we're going to go back to that Odd Shopper Premium tool. Can we stop there, please? Jeez. We're going to go back to the Odd Shopper Premium tool, but let me just remind you what we have here below. Quick, easy, painless, less than a cup of coffee a day, 70% off your first month. Home run plays galore. We got them for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's keep this moving. So we've got Eovaldi and Hunter Brown. Who cracks first? Look at it that way. Don't just tell me that Hunter Brown cracks first simply because they're on the road. And when you look at these two guys squaring off, everybody's aware that this guy has a really good feel for the under. If Texas is able to jump out first two innings and put up multiple runs in either of those first two innings, this is going to be really hard for Hunter Brown to bounce back, and you have the run line in play. There's no need to force that. We'll take him at minus 125. Granted, Hunter Brown has some sick numbers. The 27.4 K rate is no joke. Nothing to laugh at, nothing to scoff at. It's not even a matter about numbers. It's about being home. It's about having a little bit of an advantage there. The fact that Eovaldi himself, the expectation, you get 6-7 innings versus Brown may not last through the fifth. And that one extra inning, staving off the opponent, keeping that lead is the difference. Look, in this case right now, you're just going to have to take the Phillies minus 1.5. You're just going to have to take them, and you're just going to have to like it, and you're just going to have to trust me on this. Now, me asking you to trust me is probably the most belligerent thing that I've said on any video in the history of my time here at Odd Shopper, Stochastic, and before that, Awesome. I don't think I've said anything more outlandish than you just got to trust me. So I get it. You're probably looking at me like, this guy, this guy, he's telling me you got to try. I thought he had me. I thought he was serious. He had me though. No, I am serious. The Phillies were just embarrassed. They were humiliated at home. I don't give a stink that it was the fifth starter slot. Only 2 runs were given up. That's it. The bats fell silent at home. There isn't going to be a consistent theme with that, especially with Mackenzie Gore. We're fine on the run line. All right, Giants, Mets. Let's get back to the tool, shall we? I thought I saw. Unibet is the place here. See, we bounce around. We're fair. Unibet. True odds for this bet, as you see up top. True odds for this bet are minus 101. Even though it is minuscule, and it may seem minuscule, even though it is just 1 point, that adds up over time. And you're getting your bet back when you win it. You're not losing a cent. That cent that you lose by that minus 101, it adds up. You know what you're doing. You're making smart bets. Why not attach the tool here? And look, I'm showing you how this thing works here in front of me by making these plays, the first inning plays. That's what popped up. YRFI, Jets, Giants, lock it up. Braves, Marlins. Now, good luck. Yuri Perez, Atlanta's got the Mort factor going. Look, it's at 9, and I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you, because I don't think you need to look at K rate or which Yuri Perez at 29, Charlie Morton's at 26.3. Yeah, I get it. Like, Morton is certainly hittable. Certainly hittable. The walk rate is through the roof at 10.3. That's heinous. Yuri Perez, though, I mean, man, if there is a team, if there is anybody that at least has a shot at slowing down the Atlanta Braves, I mean, especially after whatever the hell that was, that just, oh my goodness, on Friday night. Yeah, it was as bad as it looked. We're just going to go under 9 and roll with what we have. Tampa Bay, Seattle. Remember, I showed it to you. Whoops, that's the wrong page. Why? Because those are premium. Look at this. Plus 110 over at Unibet. It's plus 114. You see how this thing works? Less than a cup of coffee a day. I'm not even here to sell it to you. I'm here to give you the bets. It'd be nice if you wanted to jump in. That's fantastic, but I'm going to give you the bets, man. That's what you came for. You came for the bets. Not Mookie bets, but you came for the bets. Maybe you did come for Mookie bets. Did you come for Mookie bets? That's okay. Nobody's going to judge you on that. We're fine here. Move it, move it, move it. Rays, Mariners. Winding down. Couple of locks. So let's look at this because we gave you that YRFI. Now we're Cleveland, Chicago. Chicago comes out with just offense, with runs. It was a disaster for the opposition. Why? Well, all that pent-up frustration by getting swept out of your own building by the Phillies. Good pitching matchup. It just worked in their favor. Are you going to get that much offense again? Probably not. And I guess I would ask, what exactly is wrong with Tanner Bibby? And I don't mean that as far as like, what's the deal with Tanner Bibby? I don't mean that. I mean, like, what's wrong with tailing Tanner Bibby? I don't care that his K to walk rate is 22.9 to 8.3. That's good. That's fine. Marcus Stroman doesn't just keep the party going. This isn't just a pit bull track on repeat. You got to earn this stuff. And Cleveland, I think, does come out and makes Stroman work. Tanner Bibby's on the mound. Look, that 232 ex batting average. Give me the Guardians. I need it. Last one. Diamondbacks, Angels. I personally would recommend, and I'll leave you with this thought here. Well, not like I'm going to vanish, but we're done. If you can find Shohei Ohtani over a half RBI, plus 160 or better, I think you need to start smashing this. I really do. If it dips, if it's down to 130, if it's down to 110, then you've done your job. You ride the wave until the wave crashes. But this is becoming in that Jokic triple-double category where he is an RBI, total bases, home runs, all the other stuff. I get it. But he's still, with the guys in front, like he's still a threat with an RBI. Even a solo shot in the eighth in a meaningless game. With all of that said, we like offense. In this game, we like offense. Nelson Anderson, not a good matchup. Just not. And as we've seen with Arizona atop that division, there's no reason to think that anything slows down with the Diamondbacks, despite them being on the road. And honestly, it's the same exact thing with the Angels, where at home, looking for any type of bounce back, positive bounce back. Tyler Anderson on the hill. So great. 18 to 10 K to walk rate. Nelson 16 to 8 K to walk rate. These guys have getting pounded written all over them. All right. We appreciate you. All right. Here's what's going on below. There's a link for BetMGM. If you're not on BetMGM, I don't understand. I truly don't understand. If you are not, then your first bet's going to be right back to you up to $1,000 in your account. That is just fantastic. We're also going to give you 2 free months of the Hot Shopper Discord. Smashing the world away. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we smashed that today. You like that song? My son wrote that. I just sing it. But my son wrote it because I was talking about smashing tickets. And he intuitively was like, okay, Dad, I want to be a part of what you're doing. And I said, well, you're too young to gamble, but I do believe that when you're 21, I'll be able to use that social for something. 2 free months of the Discord? Really? 2 free months?